What is happening, Reject Nation? Greg.
John.
Hey, patron video request time. Whatever video you request, we must definitely do. And by the way, we do full-length TV show reactions, weekly Q&As, and music video covers on our Patreon. Just as a little heads up. And this is from a man named Alex Gross, who is far from that. He sounds sexy and appealing.
And
that's
clean.
what I'll say about him. This guy has a big passion for cinema. He's only 25, climbing his way up the ladder like a good networking guy in LA and New York should. And I believe he actually wrote this video we're about to watch.
Oh.
Back to the Future, the Ethics of Time Travel. This is from a channel that they have called Space Taste. I don't know what this video is, and he said this is the one to check out. And I says, okay, Alex Gross.
Let's do it.
Since I love you the most.
The Ethics of Time Travel, Back to the Future edition.
Yeah.
Have you ever asked yourself, if given the opportunity to time travel, would you alter your own timeline? Would you manipulate the future of humankind for the better?
No.
Let's take a look at one of cinema's most celebrated
wouldn't do that.
sci-fi films to find out if you should.
I don't think you should. No,
In
it's a
Back
terrible
to the
idea.
Future, Marty McFly is
Seriously.
invited by scientist Dr. Emmett Brown to witness his latest experiment. Doc unveils a time-traveling DeLorean and preps a
At a
trip to
time.
11/5/1955, the day he first conceived the idea of time travel. But pissed off terrorists interrupt and shoot Doc Brown dead.
We've all
Marty
been there.
manages to escape through time to 1955, and he disrupts the flow of history after getting
Reacting
pummeled by the
to
car that his father was supposed to have been hit by. As a
That's-
result,
yeah.
a younger version of his mother gets all hot for him. There's also a jerk named Biff who bullies George. Marty ends up finding Doc's younger self and attempts to normalize the tangled timeline by having his parents kiss.
If you haven't seen Back to the Future, this
At
is
least not
the
until
perfect
Biff forces
recap.
himself
Oh, yeah.
onto Lorraine
Last
and
time.
George comes to the rescue. Marty returns to the clock tower as the lightning strikes, sending him back to 1985 to find that his father is a successful author and Lorraine is living large. All is well and the future is saved, until Doc Brown appears with a warning and warps them back to the future for part 2. So, curious how all
Efficient.
this time travel was possible? Well, it was all thanks to a flux capacitor. What's a flux capacitor? Truth is, we don't really know, because it's imaginary, at least for now. But time travel is theoretically possible thanks to quantum mechanics. With Einstein's equations, if
Cool.
you plug in faster than light velocity, you get backwards time travel. This is due to a hypothetical particle called tachyons, which move faster than light. Theoretically, if a flux capacitor was developed and was able to generate tachyons in order to travel backwards in time, you'd likely be faced with something called the butterfly effect. If
Yes.
you step on the wrong butterfly, you'll change the universe. However, it won't be the universe that you were born into, but rather a new universe that you've created. This is where
Okay.
paradoxes come in. According to Einstein, time is a river. It can speed up, slow down, whirlpool, even fork in different directions. When Marty McFly travels in the DeLorean,
Einstein
the
failed
river
high
of time
school.
forks and a parallel universe with a new timeline is created. If you could time travel, does that mean you should alter your timeline
No.
even if it isn't the same timeline you were born into? Maybe. Let's take a look at some examples. When the DeLorean is first revealed, Doc and Marty meet in the parking lot of the Twin Pines Mall. Moments
Been
later,
there.
when Marty travels backwards in time, he crashes into a farmhouse and is chased by a gun-wielding farmer. Marty speeds away, but in doing so, runs over the farmer's pine tree. Fast forward towards the end of the film, when Marty travels back to the Twin Pines Mall, we now see that something's changed.
Ha.
The Twin Pines Mall
Oh,
is now
damn.
I never noticed that.
That tree that Marty had run over triggered the butterfly.
That's worth the whole video right there, buddy.
Yeah, dude.
Other events could have done a lot worse. Take George and Lorraine's kiss. If Marty had prevented his parents from having their first smooch, he likely would have never been born, at least not in the parallel universe he traveled to. Every action has a reaction, and with numerous people comes numerous
Reaction.
actions. In the end, Marty changed his parents' lives for the better, and that bully Biff was made into a loser. But while we cheer at our heroes win, we don't know who else was affected by the outcome. What if Biff and his father were wealthy and his mother was poor, left with nothing after their divorce? Maybe she had cancer, and the only reason she was beating the cancer was because Biff was paying for her chemotherapy. With Biff defeated, his mother could have been too. It all comes down to the fact that 1,000,000,000,000 different actions took place just for George and Lorraine to have their first kiss. Any action, no matter how small, can have adverse effects on people all over the world. So what do you think? Is time travel ethical? We say yes, but only if you lay down some ground rules before hopping in that DeLorean.
I didn't think you guys were going for a
Keep your
yes.
observation only. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Maybe subscribe, and we'll see you next time, future travelers.
See, that's a tricky argument right there, and I am surprised they came out with a yes, because I feel like there's so many hazards.
Well, let's talk about a couple things. One thing I want to talk about is something that's not mentioned. The other thing I want to talk about is where I would time travel to. John,
Cool.
may I proceed?
Yes, I think so.
I appreciate the offer. Numero uno. My problem with any scenario,
If you're a fucking asshole.
what Marty specifically was having to deal with, and the Flash recent one kind of did this recently too. I don't know if you guys know this, but in order to become a baby, you're first a sperm from your daddy, right?
Yes.
And that
Egg
sperm,
inside your mama.
yes, the sperm changes quite often.
Yes.
Just because he got them to kiss and just because they fondled one another doesn't exactly mean that's the same
They'll be the
sperm
same kid.
that would give birth to Marty McFly.
Damn.
I know we're dealing with movies
bad.
and time travel isn't possible yet. However, it's something to consider if you up the time in the past, which is leading me to my next point. I would time travel to the future because you can't really damage anything in the future.
I guess not.
If anything, I could time travel to the future and then when I'm back in the present, wait natural time to meet myself in that future if I fuck up the future and kill that version of me, which would in turn kill me from ever coming back, erasing myself from that entire timeline.
It's like through a wacky series of misadventures, you just end up not existing.
I'm
ever.
saying I think it's less dangerous to time travel to the
Forward?
future.
Yeah.
But is it, when you time travel to the future, here's my other question. There are two types of time travel I've seen in movies. One is like time travel from the time machine. He time travels forward, and that means he's been gone for all those years, and
He just
he's
disappeared.
in the future where he didn't exist and never time traveled back and was just there. And then there's the Back to the Future 2 time travel, where he time travels to the future and he meets old Marty McFly. He got back and then, lived his life, right? Or is this talking about like the parallel alternate timelines and all of that,
Well, because Back to the Future, I think, operates under the conceit that there's just one timeline, and
Yeah.
we gotta fix it, and that's like very neat and self-contained. But yeah, the second you start opening up multiple streams of time, if the day ever comes that time travel becomes a real thing, I think just the universe is gonna be fucked up automatically because
Well,
like.
if we all get access to it, yeah.
Well, yeah, there's that too. Is like even if 5 different people have access to it, everything could change. And yeah, I think future travel is maybe less hazardous because I don't know. Because now I'm thinking about like, well, what is it going to do to their time? Because in their time, you don't belong. In your time, you're just leaving and popping up into the future. So
I don't
like,
care about their time.
well, yeah, because
the
it's ahead of
future.
our time.
Yeah, I'm not
but-
time traveling to tomorrow. I'm
Yeah.
not time traveling to like 100 years from now.
The older I get, I kind of fall on the ethics side of no because I'm.
Oh, I think it's a terrible idea.
I
don't
just
you
think
should
to myself, I don't know to what degree the butterfly effect will take place, but I have to imagine it will take place to some degree. In my mind, I just imagine like, yeah, even a small change could alter
Small
everything.
change.
Like,
Small change. If I went back in time and stood in line at a Starbucks, I have altered time.
yeah, different people saw you.
Different
like,
people saw me. This person ordered later, which causes a whole ripple effect of
Yeah.
when they hit the road and
All
all
these
this
days are
everything,
different.
everything changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like that episode of The Simpsons has always been like a great example to me when Homer fixes the toaster and keeps
Yeah.
going back in time, and every little thing he does like drastically alters the future. And I gotta imagine that's not far from what might happen. That's the thing is I don't think Back to the Future would ever be possible because you can't just go back and fix stuff.
No, you can't.
Because that's a great point about the sperms.
Which is exactly why Kyle Reese is not the original father of John Connor in Terminator. It
Theories.
makes no sense.
Red pilling y'all.
Even though Terminator 2 is arguably my favorite sci-fi movie and right next to The Matrix, I still have very big issues with the whole Kyle Reese thing being, but that's another video for another time.
Time travel's a tricky thing. I think the only way time travel works cleanly is in the black market, where they're only
yeah.
using it to go kill each other. And
Yeah. This was fun. This is a fun video, man. I thought you guys did a great job, and it was interesting theories presented. I like the discussion we had afterwards.
On the Lone Pines thing, I mean, thank you for
That
Easter
alone,
egg.
just a little Easter egg. It was whoa! they thought about Easter eggs back then.
Small details.
Anyway, Reject Nation, thanks for watching. You guys are a delight. Alex, love you, buddy. Thanks for sending this our way and being a patron ejector.
Thanks, man.
You guys can subscribe to the Reject Nation and hey, click that notification bell. And why don't you go ahead and check us out on Patreon? Got plenty of goodies over there. Would love to have you become a patron ejector.